Good morning. My name is Ruben Machvirango. You know, it's actually heated up already before even we come on. But the two gentlemen are really making life very easy for me here in the studio. But of course, today is a special day. It's a Tuesday. And we decided to look at or to focus on what happened in Masaka. A lot happened, including teams being kicked out because of using overage players. So in studio, I'm joined by senior reporter John Bansetam, and of course the first vice president of FUFA, that is Justice Mugisha, who's also in charge of USA. So he'll be telling us the criteria they use to emanate schools and why they come up to at the last minute to tell schools that you can't be part of this, you can't be part of that. So, like I said, I'm in the company of two gentlemen, that's Justice Mugisha and John Bansetam. Gentlemen, I'll start from my left. Somebody who's next to me, Justice Mugisha. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Same with me.
You're smart. Is it grey or is it sky blue?
Oh, it's both. It's both.
So I thought I was colorblind. I was looking at blue, but it's both. So good to have you here. How have you been?
I've been fine. I'm just coming from Masaka.
Okay.
And not only Masaka, but also from Ndeje in Ruwero. We had 2 championships running at the same time with very many students, record number of students. We had about 5,000 in Ndeje and about 1,600 in Masaka. Very good championships. Very competitive, but of course we faced a few problems and a few challenges, but we are up to the task, and we did very well.
Okay, that's good. Of course, that's Justice Mugisha, the FUFA vice president, and of course the chairman, Osa. He's going to be telling us...
I'm actually the president.
The president?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Thanks for that reminder about that, because the titles are important here.
Yeah.
But also in the company of John Bansetam, a senior reporter, a man who has been around and who knows his game. John Barnes, good to see you.
Glad to see you. And I'm lucky I've been a part of what Mr. Justice Mugisha heads now, the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association. I played the Coca-Cola.
Okay.
The Coca-Cola in the past for St. Charles Wanga Senior Secondary School, Kasasa.
Did you start or you were just a bench player?
But I played. The key word, Mr. Mugisha, is
playing.
Played.
You played.
I played in Lira, I think 90 what? Lira, when it was in Lira, I was part of that St. Charles Lwanga Senior Secondary School team, Kasasa team, that I was in Lira. And I'm glad that we have Mr. Justice Mugisha here for us. And Ruben, I think we need to thank Mr. Justice Mugisha for responding to our call immediately. Because in English, they'll tell you that hitting the nail when it's still hot. The games have just ended, the championships have just ended on Sunday, and here he is on Tuesday. I know he's been a busy man all through, because as president, he has many things to see, to take care of as teams depart, ensuring that there are no complaints. At least there are complaints about the petitions and stuff like that, but you've not heard of any complaint thereafter since the final whistle was blown in that game, and when St. Julian hoisted their trophy in Masaka and various teams in Luwero hoisted their trophies. Thank you very much, Justice.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Justice, I will start with the first question. Talk to us about what Uganda Senior Secondary School Sports Association is all about.
Uganda Secondary School Sports Association is an association of sporting head teachers and games teachers. And it is across the country. Our smallest units are at the district. We have what we call district sports association. Secondary school sports association at the district level. And there we have 2 people from each school. We have a head teacher, and then we have a games teacher. They come together and they form an association at the district level with leadership. Then after that level, we also have another level of zones. Uganda is divided into 19 zones. And at that level also, the representative from each of the districts within a zone, they come together and form an executive at that level, leadership. And then finally, at national level, the representatives from the 19 zones come together, and at national level, they form the executive committee at that level. But then, Uganda Secondary School Sports Association has what we call a delegated mandate of running school sports in the country. The mandate of running school sports in this country lies with the Ministry of Education and Sports through the Department of Physical Education and Sports. And for us, we are just delegated, we have a delegated mandate of running those games.
Okay.
Okay, of course, but you did say it clearly. And but for me, my interest was to understand what it's all about. Before I go into the life presence of the association, because I think you have been there for some good years,
Yes,
I want to understand when you're going to leave. Because sometimes offices become part and parcel of some people. So let me hope the person is going to stay longer in that office. Is there any elections soon?
Not really. I was elected for the first time as president.
That was which year?
Of Uganda Secondary School Sports Association in 2022.
Okay.
I've so far run only 2
So how many are you
years.
left with?
I'm remaining with 2 years. And if those people manage to convince me to stand again, I will stand.
Convince you. They will not convince you.
If they convince me.
I think they are tired.
And, no. The only problem is that when I came in office, I had a manifesto.
Okay.
And among the things I said I would do in 4 years,
Yes.
in 2 years they are finished nearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So resign. Retire.
No, you don't resign.
Leave office.
And because I've
You
done
are done.
so well,
Okay.
they are telling me now I'm setting higher
So
and
they're
higher
asking
targets.
you to stay.
But we shall first see how the 2 years go, and I will see. Because I have very many, as you know, I have very many responsibilities.
Okay.
I'm not only the president of USSA, I'm also the vice president of FUFA. Our term is going up to next year. I'm also the president of FIASA.
What is
That is
FIASA?
the Federation of East Africa Secondary School Sports Association.
You are also voted or elected into
We are
that
elected,
office?
and I've been elected a number of times there. That's where you should say I've stayed longer. And then, because of the good work we are doing and the expertise I've gained over time, I was also appointed. I'm the president technical commission for football for International School Sports Federation. I've just come from China, where we are going to host the World Schools World Cup.
Okay.
And I've just been there to make draws. We did wonderful draws. Uganda is one of the participants. We are going on 17th. From 17th to 27th, Uganda is sending 5 schools, 3 for boys and 2 for girls. And we hope that Uganda will make us proud, because we have prepared our teams. We have gone through very good championships. I'm very sure that we shall do well. Last year we were in Morocco, where St. Noah became number 2 in the whole world, beating all the countries. It was only beaten by China in girls football, but it beat France, it beat Brazil and everybody. Yes. And Amus College was also, it was number 17 out of about 28 teams. Amus became number 17, and that's where we discovered the likes of Alan Okero and some other...
Alan Oiros.
Alan Oiros, who helped the country. The one goal which we have in World Cup was created by that young boy.
Okay, John Barnes.
Yeah. Mr. Mugisha, you've just, I know you've run 2 championships simultaneously, but one that caught the attention of the public for everything was the one in Masaka. Talk to us about the good that happened in Masaka. The good.
Now, the good in Masaka was that, first and foremost, we were very well hosted by Masaka Secondary. For the first time, we had every school had its own team, and the feeding was very well. Then the second very good thing that happened is that the officiating officials, we did not receive a single complaint about officiation of the games. And do you know why?
No, we don't know.
Because we have worked together with FUFA, the USSA, and we have trained young boys and girls. And out of 40 referees that we used in Masaka,
Yes.
27 of them were recently trained in the last 2 years by FUFA and Uganda Secondary School Sports Association. We used those boys, everybody was surprised. They officiated so well. Then the other thing, a good thing that happened in Masaka was about what we call classification games. For the first time in the history of Uganda and the history of that championship, all the teams that reported in Masaka played exactly the same number of games. The champion on the last day was playing, competing for position number 1 and number 2. And also, at the same time, in the morning of that day, teams number 63 and number 64 were also playing a final to determine who is number 63 and who is number 64.
Okay.
Every team had 1 match a day, apart from a few teams where their games were washed off and were forced for them to play 2 games, and also where the petition is delayed.
Yeah.
And a team like Bukedia Comprehensive had to play 2 matches. But all the other teams, they were playing 1 match a day, and they played exactly the same number of teams. Okay. Then lastly, I've told you about our capacity building. As the games were taking place, we also were doing capacity building. Now, every team came with 3 students. 1, a younger referee.
Okay.
And for the 9 days, he was being trained to become a good referee. They had a younger reporter. The younger reporter was being trained to become a very young reporter. And then young coach. The young coaches were also being trained. So by the time we left Masaka, we have contributed to the pool. We added another 64 referees, young referees of age less than 20. We added young reporters 64, and we added young coaches who are 64. We hope that this one will be a catalyst for football development in the future.
Okay. Mr. Mugisha, amidst the good, there must have been some bad. Though we shall not ask, but rather, how do you plan to address the sticking issues? I mean, the bad. A lot happened. You are here to whitewashing, saying that everything was successful. But I've had schools come up and say you were against them. So amidst the bad, how are you going to address the issue of the age cheating, the issue of match officials being bribed by schools? How are you going to address that in the future?
The truth, and I will be very sincere with everybody here.
Thank you very much for being sincere.
And my sincerity is that in our games, the main problem that we are having are schools, the games teachers, the coaches, the head teachers, and the directors of school who are still bent on using non-eligible players. That is players who are actually not supposed to play, non-bona fide players, who are not supposed to be in school. Can you explain
this a bit? If my name is let's say, Ruben, I'm at Namiang College studying. I am 21 years of age, but I'm studying in senior 6. Am I not eligible to play?
You are not. Our games specifically are for 20 and below.
Okay.
If you were born below 2004, then you are not supposed to play these games. You can study, but you are late in school. You are not supposed to play. These games are for under 20. You are a bona fide student, but you are ineligible to play. And that's the main problem that we are getting.
Okay.
The main problem that we are getting, we said, in our games, we shall only entertain people who are eligible, who are bona fide, and who are of the age. But as I was telling you, the problem is that because schools want to win, what they do is they want to use the overaged players, the ineligible players, and we say that at whatever point we discover that, we shall handle it.
So, just to cut you short there, Mr. Mugisha, if my name is Kwagala Jeremiah, and it's not my fault that the school included me. So, when you're finding schools, am I also affected as a player, as a student?
In the past, what we are doing, whenever a school would use, for example, a non-bona fide player, if you use a non-bona fide, a player who is not in the school system, the school would be banned from participating in our game. It would be packed and it goes home. And it would be banned for not less than 3 years from participating in school games.
Okay.
But now, with the passing of the new law, which criminalizes the changing of age, impersonating and what have you,
okay,
we were advised by the Ministry of Education that no, do not punish the whole school. Punish the games teacher.
Yes.
Punish the head teacher.
Yes.
And punish that student who is participating when he's not supposed to participate.
Okay.
But don't touch the whole school, because the school has 3,000 students, and now you are banning
Who
them
are
for 3
innocent,
years.
true.
Who are innocent.
Yes.
So we are given instructions that deal with the illegality, and leave the others. So what we do is that if you use a non-bona fide player, still your team will stop there and will send you home. Okay. But if you use a player who is bona fide, but he is ineligible to play. For example, you have used a student who is yours,
yes,
and he's 21 years of age.
Okay.
That game where that player has played, we take away the points.
Lost.
So it means you cannot qualify to go to the next round. But the other teams will remove that person, then the other teams will play the remaining games if you are in group stages. If we have finished group stages and we are in what we used to call knockout rounds, but although they are no longer knockout, because
they are called what?
now when you fail to win that game, you go to compete for classification games. So what we do is this time, if you use an eligible player, but I mean a bona fide player who is ineligible, we take the points of that match. The opponent takes the match.
Take
and then
points.
for you, because now it means now you no longer have enough points to continue.
Yes.
So now you go back and pray for the lower what?
Lower rank.
The lower ranks. And that is in line with our guidelines.
What if there comes a scenario where Jeremiah is going to be 21?
Yes.
Let's say the tournament kicks off today, and I'll be 21 the next day. I'll make 21. So books show that in your records show that I am already 21, but tournament kicked off before I was 21.
No. What we do is that we define the age, and we normally define and say
January
the person. We just give a date
January 2004.
by which, after which you should have been born. Okay. For example, our games we said the person should have been born after the 1st of January 2004. So there's nothing like
there are no two ways.
There are no two ways. They are
not two ways. There are not two ways. I understand now.
Yeah. But now I wanted to explain to you the main problem that we faced.
Okay,
please.
Go ahead.
Because there has been turmoil. People are complaining. Now the problem, we prepared for these games. We gave out rules and regulations, and we gave them to the districts where the teams qualified from. We give them to the zones, and even at the national level. Before the championship, there's what we call pre-tournament screening.
Okay.
We first started by having a system, the system which we have everybody registers in the system from January up to February. If you want to play in our games, you have to register. And you put in all the details. If you put in the wrong detail, you are finished. Now, after that, then you register. Then when there is a championship, we do pre-tournament screening. You say, bring your teams. You bring your team, we look through them, and by the documents, many people who are even wrong go through.
Yeah.
Because you are not, you look at the document, you find the document is correct. Okay. Now what we have discovered, especially at the national level, is that much as we had pre-tournament screening, and we removed very many, because we had said, bring 22 players. Should you lose more than 5, then your team does what?
Disqualified.
Is disqualified. Like we disqualified the team from Lira. It brought all the players, only 6 could pass. So we removed it and replaced it with other team.
Okay.
And even in the zone where it came from, we said, you failed to screen this team properly. You used this to beat good teams. That's what you as a zone, you have lost it. And we gave to other zones which were deserving.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, but schools have become very complicated. The games teachers are very complicated. Sophisticated. Yeah. Because what some schools, we discovered some schools do, they go and see someone who is already 20 years of age. And he has been there, they see this is a good player, but he can't play in our game. What do? They take him back to P7. The guy sits.
So do parents accept? Do the parents agree with them?
We are wondering, because it is most of the cases are like that. They take him to P7, then they cut his age. They say now, you are no longer 20 years.
Hey,
you are now 13 years of age. You sit P7, and then you start senior 1. Yeah. Like some of the guys we got, he was in senior 3. And do you know what helped us?
No.
We were helped by FUFA Connect.
What is for connect?
FUFA Connect is every player who plays the first division, second division, third division, fourth division, and fifth division. He has to register into an online system. Now, this online system is controlled by FIFA. So
The
that if
FIFA
someone,
in Zurich.
yes, if someone is interested in your prayer, he will go into the system and look at the history of the prayer and everything about the prayer. Now, so that person whom we got, one of the people whom we got, who is 26 years of age, he had prayed for a team, I think Gangama or something from the east. He registered before he went back to P7.
Okay.
And he was a prayer. Now, when he came back, when he came back, he changed. He did not change the names. They were also lucky because we wouldn't have got him.
Okay.
He came and now he's praying for another club. Now, in the club which he's praying for, actually, I think it is from Ginger Bull. Bull FC is from Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger. Yeah.
Now, he's now 16 years of age. But his actual age is 26 years of what?
Of age.
So the first registration shows he's 26 years of age. Yeah. This registration shows that he's 16 years of what?
Of age.
He's in senior 3. His past report is reading 16 years of what?
Of age.
Of age. Now, how did we also discover that person? We discovered that person because when we reached the venue, we put up all the albums, photos and all everything concerning that person. We put them on a notes board. And people, other teams had time to study and go and make research. So when a petition comes, someone brings the petition with all the facts.
You can't run away.
You can't run away. And the team now is playing quarterfinals. Then other people say, no, don't listen
touch.
cases at quarterfinals. We said, no, we shall listen to cases at all levels because we want to stamp out age cheating.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we did. So if you hear that there were many teams which were stopped, many cases, those are the cases we are handling.
Okay.
And what I'm asking you, it never used to happen because that time there was no information. We used to have albums which were on paper, and the investigating cases would take long. There would be no display of albums on the notes board. And because of that, people thought the tournament was going on well, when actually
There was a lot of
the people who were playing were not real.
Okay.
But this time around now, with the determination we have, with the information system that we have, FUFA Connect, USSA registration system, NIRA, we are using all those.
Okay.
And our rule this time was stated that should you be registered in different systems, and we find you have different ages, we shall take the age which makes you older.
As simple as
To be true. Even if you have a passport saying that you are 16 years of age, if you have a passport that is saying you are 26, then we shall take 26 years
On the passport.
on the passport.
Justus, but before Barnes comes in, there's a rumor in the corridors somewhere that your committee favors a certain school in Entebbe Road. Wherever there's something wrong with it, you tend to put that under the carpet. Now the case of Madoi, how do you handle the Madoi case at St. Mary's Chitende?
To begin with, the Madoi case was never brought on our table. Because I'm in sports for a long time, we also took time to say, because it was written in a newspaper, not in all newspapers, but in social media about Madoi. And our findings are as follows. Madoi is a registered student of St. Mary's Chitende.
Okay.
Madoi's document, both passport and pass slip at P7, shows that he's actually of praying age. But what we asked was that Madoi was interested in becoming a professional. Some team outside got interested in him, and they took him for trials. And the fact that he's back means that he failed the trials. And we do not have any information to the contrary. And there is no way we can stop such a player
From playing.
from praying when he's registered with a school
Okay.
and he's of age and everything is okay.
What if it's just that does not study? Yes, he's registered, but doesn't attend class.
But I think, Ruben, I think
we have had such cases. Tony Odu was a victim of that a few years back.
Ruben, what if I'm at school for the first term?
Yes.
Then I fall sick the entire second term. I come back third term. Am I at fault?
No, you're not.
That's the Madrid situation.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But go ahead.
So, Mr. Justice Mugisha,
Yes.
you've talked of, you've achieved what you meant to, what you promised in 4 years in just 2 years.
Yes.
But there's the bigger picture, Mr. Mugisha. Are there any plans by USSA to go further than the mentorship you're having for the referees, the coaches, and young reporters, getting us a facility for USSA? Sports facility where we don't have to go again to Masaka or Lira or anywhere for these games.
You remind me, we promised that we shall have a headquarter for USSA complete with facilities in the near future. And the good thing is we're working on this. But one thing is sure. When we won the Fiesta Games last year, we were taken to State House. And we had a reception by the president and the first lady.
Yeah.
And we told them about the demand. We said we are doing very well as a country, but we don't have facilities for sports. Schools lack facilities, and even when we are having competition of so many people, because for us we believe in mass sports, we now fail to get some schools in certain zones that can host. And the president promised us that he's going to give us facilities through the Ministry of Education. We are going to choose one school in each of the 19 zones, and each of those schools is going to be facilitated to have all the facilities that we may need.
Okay.
But after that, of course, we work hand in hand with federations, because as USSA, we are now running about 17 different sports.
Yeah.
And we cannot say that we shall have facilities for all those. We have to work within the means that we have, but we shall have a headquarter, we shall have some facilities there, but we shall continue to rotate the games hosting across the what? Across the country.
Then, Mr. Mugisha, we witnessed most of the focus still was on Masaka. Great teams like BSK, Blessed Sacrament Chimanya. We are going into the Fiesta Games. Who is entitled to be a part of the Fiesta Games? And I'm asking on behalf of some Ugandans, can Blessed Sacrament, for the good football they displayed, creep in despite not qualifying?
Now, Fiesta has 6 members. And now, by invitation, each member is supposed to bring 2 teams. You bring 2 teams for each of the game.
Okay.
Except if you are a defending champion. If you are a defending champion, you are given an extra slot to make 3 teams. But also, when you are the host country, then they add you an extra what? Team. So this year, Uganda, we have our 2 slots as Uganda.
Yes.
Good enough, and thanks to St. Mary's Stende, which you are saying
you had to thank them.
Which you are saying we are
I
favoring.
knew it would end like that.
They are the defending champions.
Why are you thanking them?
Because they are defending champions.
So you thank them for defending that championship?
They are giving Uganda
Mr. Mugisha.
And then
Mr.
we are
Mugisha,
hosts.
let me put a holder to his argument. He's a big fan of Italian football.
Yes.
And this season, Italian football has been given an extra slot. So the German football has been given an extra slot in the Champions League next year because of 2 of its teams performing pretty well, Dortmund and Bayern. Is that any fault, Ruben?
True, but when Justice sits and praises
the truth, I want to say this.
Really,
we must give credit where it is due. And St. Mary's Stende has made Uganda proud over a number of years.
That's
yes, it's true. And then the other fact is very clear. In the championship that we have just concluded, there was not even any team which came up to say, I'm petitioning this team. And do you know why?
They fear.
No. St. Mary's Stende is always prepares ahead of time. It checks all its players. And people have learned that if you want to petition them, then maybe you may not succeed. And then there's another thing which I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
There are people who are confusing 2 things. Over age players and tall players or yes, or old players.
So what do you mean by tall players? Please explain that.
In Uganda, we are looking for players of size. We would want tall players.
Okay.
We would want people who are big.
Who are muscular.
And then, if you have the facilities, you help them to get some muscles. But that doesn't make them old.
Okay.
Like I officiated the game for rugby in Ruero.
Okay.
The finals was between Smack and the King's College Budo. Wow! I saw big guys.
He's also been at Namidiango
You
where
were
they
at
play rugby
Namidiango?
and boxing.
Yes.
I saw big guys. And the question I asked myself, I said,
17 years.
and those guys, we checked their age and what have you.
17
They
or
were
16.
17 years, 18 years,
16.
19 years. But when you looked at that, if we had taken those two teams to massacre,
They would disqualify them.
everybody would say, over age. And that's why we eliminated, as FUFA, we recommended to the primary schools to stop that thing of weight,
Weight and height.
height. That's why we are having very short guys in football.
Yeah.
Because that system eliminated all the tall guys.
Oh.
And now we are depending on South Sudanese to get that height. Because the tall ones were eliminated and went somewhere else.
Okay.
So let us be clear. We can have some tall players. We can have some big players. But who are of what?
Of age.
But at the same time, I'm not saying that everybody who was big and everybody who was tall was of age. And that's why we investigated and we made sure that sanctions were what?
Finally, Mr. Mugisha, please allow me to report to you about that media team of USA that you head despises UBC and doesn't include any reporters here. So address this here. Why don't include the John Barnes and others to come and cover the games? Why do you go for other kiosk stations?
Actually, the truth is, for us, we organize an event. And because our event is so good, journalists come.
Are not invited?
First wait. Yes, we don't need to invite you. You are Ugandan, you come, and you get what. But the difference is that we have made an effort. We want all our games on TV. I can tell you that in Ndeje, the games were on TV, on your TV actually, because TV West is part of you.
Yes.
For the 9 days. All the games, every day, 4 games were on TV. When it came to Massacre, we had 4 games every day on TV for 8 days. That is FUFA TV. But we know that UBC is a national broadcaster. And we are under the Ministry of Education and what?
And Sports. Yes.
It is our wish that we could partner with UBC.
So what prohibits you from doing that?
What prohibits us from there is that we have not yet raised enough muscle to have UBC with us. But if you have seen what took place in Massacre, I don't know what you are doing.
Well, what is E? E is what?
The numbers that were there.
So that is E?
The interest that was created. I'm also wondering why UBC is
Because you didn't involve us. You didn't involve us.
We don't even need to invite you.
You've got to involve us.
UBC's government, we are also government. To begin with, before we partner with anybody else, we should be partnering with UBC.
That is true, and it's your fault.
So
what I'm
requesting is that you make it possible.
Okay.
Because the public is interested in our game. UBC should make it possible for the school games to be on UBC.
You're parting shots.
I request just one or two things before Mr. Mugisha leaves.
Okay.
Mr. Mugisha, I recommend 2 things. One, we need to stop running these games simultaneously. We miss out a lot, especially as journalists. We can't be in Luweru and Massacre. That is. Then the second one, personally, I would think that in terms of the petitions, let's put this out at the start and put an end to it. If you, like we go to church and get married, the priest will tell you that either shout out now that Ruatoro is married elsewhere or keep quiet forever.
And do marriages last?
Now with that, we've got to go. We have got to go. Guys, out of here. Have a good day and bye for now.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.